Welcome to My Lady Stories, the home of captivating stories and entertainment. Get ready for a journey into the world of thrilling tales. Join me as we explore fascinating stories and adventures. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. Enjoy the story.
Here we go. Beneath the shimmering depths of the cerulean sea, where coral gardens flourished, and exotic marine life danced, there lay an ancient tale whispered through the tides. It spoke of the enigmatic pearl of harmony, a precious gem that had the power to heal and unite all the creatures of the underwater realm. Its luminous glow could bring unparalleled peace to the seas. In the heart of this aquatic world, two mermaid sisters, Lysandra and Calista, embodied the duality of their undersea domain. Lysandra, with her ethereal silver hair and eyes that mirrored the clearest waters, was known for her gentle disposition and unwavering kindness. Her aura emanated a soothing tranquility that enchanted all who crossed her path. Calista, on the other hand, was a stark contrast. Her ebony tresses cascaded like a waterfall of darkness, and her amethyst eyes sparkled with an enigmatic allure. While she possessed an unparalleled charisma, her temperament was as tempestuous as the deep-sea currents. Despite their opposing natures, Lysandra and Calista shared an unbreakable bond. The melody of their laughter and the harmony of their shared secrets resonated through the coral reefs. Inseparable since their earliest days, they could often be found exploring the hidden caves, collecting seashells, or reveling in the tranquility of the azure world around them. One fateful day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting iridescent rays that painted the ocean with shades of orange and pink, a powerful voice echoed through the undersea kingdom. The voice belonged to the revered Sea Elder, an ancient and wise mermaid who was the guardian of the Pearl of Harmony. Dear creatures of the Sea Elder's voice reverberated through the water, it is time to reveal the Pearl of Harmony. We shall hold a contest, and the one who proves worthy shall wield its power. Lysandra and Calista, like all the denizens of the deep, were drawn to the announcement. Unbeknownst to each other, they both harbored dreams of claiming the pearl's immense power. While Lysandra's intentions were pure, envisioning a world where the pearl's healing grace could mend wounded hearts and soothe troubled waters, Calista saw the pearl as a means to enhance her own power and influence. As they swam away from the gathering, they each decided to enter the contest, driven by their aspirations but unaware of the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. Little did they know that this journey would test the very essence of their sisterhood and reveal the intricate interplay of light and darkness within their hearts. The underwater world buzzed with anticipation as the Sea Elder's announcement echoed through the coral chambers and kelp forests. The revelation of the contest to find the Pearl of Harmony had stirred a sense of excitement and curiosity in every nook and cranny of the oceanic realm. Word of the opportunity to harness the Pearl's power spread like wildfire through the currents. Lysandra, her silver hair catching the gentle play of the underwater light, listened with rapt attention as the Sea Elder continued to speak. Her heart swelled with a deep yearning to help her fellow sea creatures and to foster the serenity that the Pearl could provide. On the other side of the bustling reef, Calista, her raven hair cascading around her, absorbed every word with a different intensity. Her eyes sparkled with ambition, and she saw the pearl as a means to elevate her status and wield a power that she had long coveted. As the Sea Elder finished her announcement, an air of anticipation filled the water. The contest would consist of a series of trials, each designed to test the worthiness of the participants. The winners of these trials would ultimately compete for the Pearl of Harmony itself. With the announcement concluded, Lysandra, guided by her compassionate nature, immediately pledged to take part. She yearned to ease the suffering of the ocean's denizens, offering her talents and kind spirit as her contributions. Meanwhile, Calista, motivated by her desire for supremacy, made a silent vow to claim the pearl. She saw it as an opportunity to wield immeasurable power, to become the ultimate authority in the underwater world. Unbeknownst to one another, Lysandra and Calista embarked on their separate paths, driven by contrasting motives. Their hearts had diverged, but their sisterly bond remained unbroken. As the first trials approached, the underwater kingdom braced itself for a spectacle of talents. A contest that would test the mettle of its inhabitants and, unbeknownst to all, a duel between sisters, each blinded by her own desires. The first rays of the sun painted the underwater world in a soft golden hue as the contestants gathered for the initial round of the contest. The excitement in the coral arena was palpable, bubbles of anticipation rising from the assembled merfolk and sea creatures. Lysandra stood gracefully, her silver tail shimmering, her heart filled with the purest intentions. She looked at the faces of her fellow contestants, a diverse group of sea creatures, all eager to prove themselves. Calista, on the other hand, exuded an air of confidence that bordered on arrogance. Her ebony tail swayed with an air of authority as her amethyst eyes surveyed the competition, sizing up potential rivals. The first trial was an aquatic obstacle course filled with challenging underwater mazes, swift currents, and hidden treasures. It was a test of agility, adaptability, and resourcefulness. Lysandra's approach was one of careful consideration, choosing the path that would minimize disruption to the fragile coral gardens. She navigated the maze with grace and reverence for her surroundings, showcasing her unique ability to communicate with the aquatic life. Calista, however, employed a different strategy. She demonstrated her extraordinary control over water currents, manipulating them to clear obstacles and surge forward with unmatched speed. Her display of power drew awe and admiration from some, but it also raised concerns about her potential disregard for the delicate balance of their underwater world. As the contestants moved through the maze, they encountered challenges that ranged from helping injured sea creatures to entangling themselves from treacherous seaweed. Lysandra, driven by compassion, was always ready to assist, using her ability to soothe the distressed and heal the wounded. Calista, however, focused solely on her own progression, treating the trials as opportunities to display her prowess. Her demeanor and actions left a trail of troubled waters, sowing unease among those who witnessed her disregard for the well-being of her fellow contestants and the underwater ecosystem. As the first round came to a close, Lysandra's performance had earned her not only the admiration of her peers but also a deep sense of fulfillment. Her compassionate nature had guided her through the trials, endearing her to those around her. Calista, on the other hand, had proven her might, but her path had been marked by a trail of tension and unease. The first round had showcased her unique abilities but also raised questions about the darker intentions that seemed to drive her. The trials had set the stage for a contest that would challenge not only the participants' physical abilities but also the essence of their characters. As the contestants awaited the next round, they couldn't help but wonder what lay ahead and how their contrasting qualities would shape the unfolding competition. As the merfolk and sea creatures gathered in the wake of the first round of the contest, Lysandra remained blissfully unaware of the presence of her sister, Calista. Her thoughts were consumed by the sense of unity she had felt throughout the trials, the shared bond among contestants, and the beauty of the underwater world they had traversed. It wasn't until a hushed conversation among her fellow mermaids reached her ears that she discovered the shocking truth. Calista, her beloved sister, was not only participating in the contest but was also one of her rivals. Lysandra's heart sank as the realization washed over her. She couldn't fathom how her sister had decided to enter the competition, driven by motives that seemed entirely different from her own. Their once unbreakable bond was now strained by the weight of this unexpected rivalry. As Calista's name was announced, and she gracefully swam to the center of the coral arena, her presence cast a shadow over the joyous mood. Her commanding charisma and fierce determination were unmistakable, and the crowd watched in anticipation, unsure of what to expect. Lysandra, hidden among the other contestants, observed Calista with a mixture of confusion and concern. Her sister's actions and demeanor were starkly different from the Calista she knew, and it troubled her deeply. The trials that had previously represented a sense of unity and shared purpose now seemed transformed into a battlefield of personal ambition. As Lysandra and Calista competed side by side in the following challenges, their differences became increasingly apparent. Lysandra's approach remained characterized by empathy and a deep connection to the underwater world. She offered help to fellow contestants and displayed remarkable cooperation, ensuring that no harm befell the delicate ecosystems they encountered. Calista, on the other hand, was relentless in her pursuit of victory. Her actions, driven by a hunger for supremacy, often disregarded the well-being of the underwater realm. Her relentless focus on success drew admiration from some, but it also left a trail of concern and unease. The subtle rivalry that had once been hidden now intensified, as their paths crossed time and again during the trials. The crowd began to take sides, some supporting Lysandra's compassionate approach, while others admired Calista's unwavering determination. As the contest progressed, the bond that had always united Lysandra and Calista grew increasingly strained. The trials were not only testing their abilities but also their relationship as sisters. The ocean depths, once a realm of shared secrets and laughter, had become a battleground of contrasting ambitions. With every new challenge, the divide between the two sisters seemed to grow wider, and the contest was transforming into a crucible that would shape their destinies and challenge the very core of their sisterhood. Amid the ongoing contest, the currents of the undersea world carried more than just the weight of rivalry and competition. They also bore the stirrings of a forbidden love that would forever change the course of Lysandra and Calista's relationship. In the peaceful depths of an enchanting coral grotto, Lysandra found herself drawn to a merman named Thalos. His aquamarine scales shimmered like a tranquil lagoon, and his eyes held the wisdom of the tides. Their meetings, once happenstance encounters, soon evolved into secret rendezvous. Thalos was not only charming but also kind-hearted, much like Lysandra herself. Their shared moments beneath the moonlit waves were filled with laughter and stories of their underwater adventures. The connection between them deepened, and a tender romance blossomed in the quiet sanctuary of the coral grotto. But the twists of fate were unrelenting. As Lysandra's heart was woven with the threads of forbidden love, Calista, her rival in the contest, unknowingly began to experience feelings for the same merman. Her heart, previously set on claiming the Pearl of Harmony, now danced to a different rhythm. Calista found herself inexplicably drawn to Thalos, the same merman who had captured her sister's heart. She was entranced by his charisma, his tales of the ocean's mysteries, and the way his azure eyes mirrored the depths of the abyss. Her feelings, once characterized by ambition and competition, had unexpectedly shifted to desire and affection. As love burgeoned in secret between Lysandra and Thalos, the ocean depths became a place where their affection could flourish, far from the scrutinizing eyes of the contest and the growing rivalry between the sisters. The love triangle, unbeknownst to both Lysandra and Calista, was destined to set the stage for further complexities, challenging their bond as sisters. In the depths of the underwater world, where the currents held both love and rivalry, the stage was set for the next chapter of their intertwined destinies. The underwater world, once a realm of harmony and unity, was now a stage for secrets and intrigue. As the forbidden love between Lysandra and Thalos flourished in the depths of the coral grotto, Calista's world began to crumble. Calista had been unknowingly captivated by the same merman her sister cherished. Her heart, once consumed by ambition and rivalry, was now entangled in a web of emotions that threatened to unravel her plans to claim the Pearl of Harmony. It was a fateful encounter, a chance glimpse of Lysandra and Thalos sharing an affectionate moment beneath the moonlight, that shattered Calista's world. A mix of shock, anger, and profound hurt coursed through her, leaving her feeling deeply betrayed by her sister. The sense of betrayal was a poison that spread through Calista's heart, turning her love into a source of envy and resentment. She couldn't comprehend how Lysandra could have hidden her secret relationship with Thalos, a merman who had come to symbolize the love she herself had been secretly nurturing. As the contests progressed, Calista's intentions took a darker turn. She felt compelled to use underhanded tactics to outdo her sister and secure her victory in the competition. Her actions, once motivated by personal ambition, now had a tinge of vengeance, as she sought to prove her superiority over Lysandra. Calista's underhanded tactics ranged from manipulating the currents during trials to subtly sabotaging Lysandra's efforts. The once vibrant bond between the sisters had now soured into a bitter rivalry, one that threatened not only the harmony of the underwater world but also the very essence of their sisterhood. The hidden love triangle had become a catalyst for deception and betrayal, and the underwater world was beginning to feel the ripples of this discord. As Calista's determination to win at all costs intensified, she was willing to compromise the very principles and values that Lysandra held dear. In the depths of the ocean, where rivalries had replaced unity and secrets had shattered trust, the relationship between Lysandra and Calista hung in the balance. The contest had not only become a test of abilities but a crucible that would reveal the true nature of their characters and the bonds that had once united them. As the contest progressed, the underwater realm watched in anticipation as it entered a new phase. The trials now focused on the physical strength and endurance of the contestants, a challenge that had been designed to test their resilience and determination. Lysandra and Calista, once inseparable sisters, now found themselves on opposite sides of a growing rift. Their rivalry had intensified, and the love triangle had become a source of tension. The ocean depths were fraught with an undercurrent of conflict, and it was during these physical trials that the true nature of their differences came to light. Lysandra, guided by her inner strength and resilience, navigated the challenges with grace and perseverance. Her actions were rooted in compassion, as she helped those in need and worked cohesively with her fellow contestants. Calista, on the other hand, was driven by her unyielding ambition. She was no longer content with simply competing. To ensure her victory and gain an advantage over her sister, she turned to a dangerous and forbidden path, the use of dark magic. Her underhanded tactics involved manipulating the very currents of the underwater world to give her an edge in the trials. Her actions became increasingly selfish, putting the well-being of others and the delicate balance of the ocean at risk. Dark shadows seemed to follow her every move, as if her newfound powers had tainted her very essence. Calista's use of dark magic did not go unnoticed. The Underwater Council, a group of wise merfolk responsible for maintaining peace and harmony in the realm, became aware of her transgressions. The council's members, known for their wisdom and authority, could not ignore the dangerous path that Calista was treading. Her actions put her at odds with the council, who viewed her actions as a threat to the very essence of their underwater world. Calista's decisions had consequences that extended far beyond the contest. They risked the delicate balance of the ocean and the well-being of all its inhabitants. As the physical trials unfolded, the chasm between Lysandra and Calista deepened. The contest had become a battleground for not just personal ambition and rivalry but also a test of the sisters' character and the choices they were willing to make. In the heart of the underwater world, where the currents of darkness and light clashed, the stage was set for a showdown that would shape the destiny of Lysandra and Calista and the very future of their aquatic realm. As the physical trials continued, and the forbidden use of dark magic cast a shadow over the contest, the underwater world was at the brink of a defining moment. Lysandra, guided by her compassionate heart, couldn't ignore the unsettling undercurrents that had been brewing within her sister, Calista. It was during one of the trials, a challenge that required cooperation and teamwork, that Lysandra stumbled upon the shocking truth. Hidden behind the veil of dark waters, she witnessed Calista's underhanded use of forbidden magic to gain an unfair advantage over the other contestants. The discovery left Lysandra in a state of profound disbelief and despair. The dark shadows that had accompanied Calista's actions had not escaped her keen perception, and now the truth was laid bare before her. Her sister, once inseparable, had veered down a treacherous path driven by ambition and the lust for power. Confrontation became inevitable. Lysandra, Her heart heavy with a mixture of sadness and determination, sought her sister in the quiet depths of a coral cave. Calista, unaware of the revelation, welcomed the encounter, thinking it was an opportunity to discuss their rivalry and the contest. The confrontation was emotionally charged. Lysandra, her voice quivering with the weight of her discovery, confronted Calista about her use of dark magic. The words of betrayal hung in the saltwater air, shattering the bond that had once united the sisters. Calista, taken aback and unprepared to acknowledge her actions, lashed out defensively. The undercurrents of resentment and anger erupted in their exchange, leaving their sisterly bond in ruins. The once unbreakable connection between Lysandra and Calista had fractured. A temporary separation followed as they both needed space to process the depth of their dispute. The underwater world, once a tapestry of harmony and unity, was now marked by a profound chasm. The love and trust that had once defined the sisters' relationship had been replaced by a growing enmity. The ocean depths, previously a world of shared secrets and laughter, had become a battleground of conflicting desires and choices. Lysandra and Calista were now estranged, their hearts torn between the rift of betrayal and the uncharted waters of an uncertain future. In the wake of the shattered sisterly bond and the growing discord in the underwater world, a profound shift was taking place. The rift between Lysandra and Calista had left a void that cast a shadow over the entire contest and the quest for the Pearl of Harmony. During a moment of contemplation, as Lysandra and Calista retreated to separate parts of the ocean realm to gather their thoughts, an unexpected revelation began to take shape. The elders of the Underwater Council, recognizing the turmoil that had arisen due to the contest, felt compelled to share a long-guarded secret. The council convened, and they disclosed the truth about the Pearl of Harmony's power, a revelation that would forever change the course of the competition. The Pearl was not merely a source of healing and unity, its potential was far more profound. The Pearl of Harmony held the power not only to heal but also to amplify the essence of the one who possessed it. It was a reflection of the heart's true nature, capable of magnifying both the light and the darkness within an individual. In the wrong hands, it had the potential to bring about great evil, plunging the underwater realm into chaos. This revelation sent shockwaves through the underwater world, as the implications of the Pearl's power began to sink in. The contest, once a quest for a source of healing and unity, was now shrouded in uncertainty and danger. Both Lysandra and Calista, who had previously been driven by their own ambitions, now found themselves at a crossroads. The true nature of the Pearl's power forced them to reevaluate their motivations for seeking it. Lysandra, who had always sought to bring harmony and healing to the ocean realm, was faced with the realization that the Pearl's power could amplify her own benevolence, bringing about an era of unprecedented unity and peace. Calista, who had been consumed by ambition and the lust for power, was confronted with the temptation of the Pearl's darker potential. The choice was now starkly clear: she could wield the Pearl's power for self-serving gain, potentially bringing great evil to the underwater world. As the underwater realm grappled with the revelation, Lysandra and Calista were left with a profound dilemma. The Pearl, once seen as the ultimate prize, now became a moral and ethical challenge that would define their destinies. The contest was no longer a simple quest but a reflection of their true natures, with the potential to either bring about great good or plunge the ocean depths into darkness. The revelation of the Pearl of Harmony's true power had sent shockwaves through the underwater realm. As the ocean currents whispered the news of the Pearl's potential to amplify both light and darkness, a sense of foreboding spread among the denizens of the deep. Meanwhile, in the darkest depths of the abyss, a malevolent sea creature known as the Leviathan had awakened from its ancient slumber. This colossal behemoth, shrouded in inky blackness and armed with fearsome tentacles, had emerged with a thirst for destruction and chaos. The Leviathan's presence cast a shadow of dread over the underwater world, as tales of its past ravages resurfaced. It was a creature of insatiable hunger and a force capable of bringing great devastation. The coral gardens quivered, the marine life trembled, and the underwater kingdom was on the brink of catastrophe. It soon became clear that the only hope of vanquishing this formidable adversary lay with the Pearl of Harmony. Its power had the potential to stop the Leviathan's rampage and restore peace to the underwater realm. The Council, recognizing the gravity of the situation, issued a call for unity. They implored the contest's participants, including Lysandra and Calista, to put aside their rivalries and work together to harness the Pearl's power to confront the looming threat. Lysandra and Calista, who had been embroiled in a bitter contest driven by personal ambitions, were now faced with an adversary that threatened their very existence. The Leviathan's looming presence forced them to set aside their differences and reconsider the importance of unity in the face of a common enemy. Their paths converged, and, despite the fractures in their sisterly bond, they found themselves drawn together by a shared purpose. The underwater realm's future depended on their ability to work as a team, setting aside their past rivalry and focusing on a higher goal. The Leviathan's dark silhouette grew closer, casting a pall over the underwater world. Lysandra and Calista, guided by their individual experiences and abilities, had the potential to become the beacon of hope that would guide the underwater realm out of the darkness. The contest, once marked by ambition and discord, was now redefined as a quest for salvation. As they prepared to face the looming threat, Lysandra and Calista's bond, though strained, was their strongest asset in a battle that would challenge the very essence of their characters and the future of the ocean depths.
So in the previous episodes, the revelation of the Pearl of Harmony's true power and the emergence of the malevolent Leviathan have reshaped the underwater realm's destiny. Lysandra and Calista, once estranged due to their rivalry, are now united to confront the common enemy. Before we continue the story, would you prefer to see the sisters' reconciliation and their journey to mend their bond option A, or delve into the dark temptation faced by Calista and the moral dilemma that ensues option B? Please share your preference by mentioning option A or option B. Take care.